Is your character not as agile as you would like?
Karluk looks at Euphemia and says, I really wish he would have missed, and then just falls over.
Is DM's grace in short supply?
Oh, and the candles go out
Yeah.
on the Minotaur's horns.
Is compassion not your character's strong suit?
Minotaur more like beef or more like cannibalism? I'm asking for a friend.
Is persuasion your dump stat?
Be prepared for a caster. Please do not move on their own.
There's no caster here.
Listen long enough, and you too might learn how to roleplay 8 Charisma.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's time for another Roleplay 8 Charisma, whatever that means. All right, and is our want, it's time for someone to summarize what happened last time. And I think if I remember correctly, Shadeen, Craig's character, may have got walloped the most. Is that right, Craig?
That is correct, Russell, and I'd like to say that at the same time the universe was showing me such favor and clearly pointing out that I was going to be the golden child for the future, it was also throwing me a backhanded slap across the head as it decided that the Cyclops would remember exactly where I was standing, despite the fact that I was dancing around him. So yes, clearly I took most of the hit that time around. So I would like to begin. We rejoin our adventurers in some strange ruin that has some draw and pull for some and not for others. But the important thing is that the universe has clearly marked me out for my destiny. And now we know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you see what I did there? Shadow of a doubt.
I see that.
That I am changing and altering the universe around me with my merest thought. I look at the elf and I think, centuries of study. I understand some people require that sort of thing, but not if you are the chosen one. And so there we were fighting these, I don't even remember what they looked like. They were fairly large. They were, I mean, not huge, but well, maybe they were huge. I don't know. Their size seemed to waver back and forth. But then there was this fog, and I thought to myself, oh my God, fog. Now that's sort of like darkness, but not quite. And I thought, fog child sounds pretty good too. But then I realized that I couldn't see through the fog. And it was pure luck, or the love of the universe, that kept me from tripping into the well, the damn well that seems to be haunting everyone's mind. Anyway, there was a fight. There was one big guy over here and one big guy over there. And so a couple of people died or almost died. I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much to me, but they're back, so that's okay. And I reconnected with my friend Spider Bear Dwarf, and we really teamed up on these two monsters and clearly put paid to their bill. And then the universe let it be known that I am the chosen. When darkness comes to my beck and call, and all I have to do is point and curse with admittedly relatively harsh language, and the universe just smites my foes before me. When my curses upon them, which have wrung from the arenas of countless battlefields and gladiatorial pits, now bear actual teeth and weight and bring down the destruction of my foes, when I can just grasp in my hand nothingness that suddenly emerges into the shape of a beautiful shadow axe. The universe has marked me out, and my friends, you were all there to see it. You were all there to see it. Of course, some of you were unconscious and others of you were busy thinking, I don't know what kind of heavy thoughts you were thinking. Seems like a waste of time to me, but there we were. And then our foes were vanquished, and my friend Spider Bear Dwarf was a dwarf once again, which I think is an excellent trick and probably could have earned him piles of gold in the gladiator pits. And then there's a well, I don't know.
Well, I might have seen some of that, but the fog.
That's what I'm saying. The fog is a give and take. It's like the universe. It gives with one foggy hand and takes with the other.
Oh, I have a story about a foggy hand, but maybe we'll save that for another time.
Probably good. Craig, excellent summary. Take a point of inspiration for that eloquent summary there. And so it's getting to be the end. So yes, all that combat occurred around Owl Well, the place that you all regrouped in search of. Some of you are very excited to see what's in the bottom of the well. But when you got there, of course, there were 2 Cyclopses, which you have now dealt with as described by Shadeen. Now, you also all decided that it was time for a rest. Many people were badly injured in the fight. Many people were just exhausted. And so you were about to take a long rest. The long rest went quite well, but it's not quite over yet. We're on the last watch of the long rest. And I believe that was Pyric and Euphemia were the last 2 people on the rest here. And they're sort of sitting near the well. And you guys are chatting amongst yourselves. What are you chatting about, Rafe?
Euphemia is sitting by the fire, and she's sitting on a small boulder. Pyrrhic's with her, and if he looks at her, he'll notice she seems rather contemplative. She's sort of poking the fire as one does when being contemplative. She says, Pyrrhic, I've been thinking. I didn't want the leadership, but now that it's on me, I feel very concerned for the whole group. And, you taught me I was ready to kill the necromancer because I thought he was of the red brand, but then I learned that the red wizards of the Fae are different. And you reminded me that he was a human and I shouldn't just slay him. But then we encountered the hobgoblins, and I wanted to protect Cowlick because he gave me the wink and was going to go do something. I'm not sure what, but I wanted to make sure that goblin didn't skewer him. Then we come upon these poor big ogres with the one eyes. And, they weren't doing anything. They were just minding their own business and eating the undead, which we don't like the undead. And I didn't think we were supposed to kill them, but we just slaughtered them. And I'm confused. I'm a little bit concerned. I wanted to know what you thought. You can give me some guidance.
Oh, Euphemia. That's good that you are troubled by what we did. What we did was not a pretty thing. So I like that it troubles you. You should have probably been more troubled by the hobgoblins and the bloodshed therein, because they at least wanted to, have some form of discourse. And we started that fight. Now, the Cyclopses, they were going to eat us. So it's not really as gray, in my opinion. Maybe the correct answer was to leave them alone entirely, like not go to the well, not instigate the whole situation. But, there's the universe apparently is talking to us. There's
Only
glory
for some of us, my friend.
Oh, absolutely. And, and then if we're really going to be Moradin's death squad, I guess we just need to step up.
Were the Cyclopses going to... Oh, go ahead, Ross.
Tap, 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 tap. Hello. Tap, tap. You think you hear something coming out of the well.
Oh, Pyrrhic. I run to get Ulrich.
Oh.
Tap, 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 tap.
I wake up Ulrich.
Anyone up there? I say, is anyone up there? Hello.
Hey, what is that?
Ulrich,
Coming
there's
from the
something
well?
in the well.
Kill it!
Hold on, Euphemia. What you hear may be false. What you see is true. What is going on here? Quick, wake up everybody but Thalric.
I heard a voice in the well. I knew there was something down there. You knew it too.
I'm going to wake up Karlik.
That was a good refresher. Now it's time to go find some treasure.
Karlik, take a point of inspiration for rhyming even when you're groggy.
I'm going to go over. Who's down the well there? Who's making this noise?
So make a perception check there, Joe. Let me laugh so he doesn't.
Yep. Here we go. 14.
That's pretty good. So you're looking down there, and it's hard to see too deep in the well because it's still early morning. So there's not a lot of light above the well. The sun's kind of rising still, and it's generally dark down a well anyway. But you think you can make out sort of the end of a long cylindrical stick or something banging on the edge of the well from down there, and you hear a voice. I say hello. You sound like a nice lot. Anyone mind to lend a hand? The Cyclops is gone. Click, click, tap, tap, tap. Hello.
Aye, they've been dispatched. Hold on, let me get my compatriots. We'll get you out of there. Euphemia, do you have anything? Is there anything left of the tent?
I think the tent's still there.
The tent is still there, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Quick, grab somebody strong. Cowlick, help me bring over some poles to get down in this well so you can climb up.
Aye. And grabbing some of those.
Some of those.
We're going to look for anything we can put down the well that you can use to help him get up.
So you're going to disassemble the tent?
At least a pole or something.
None of you have any rope.
Did anybody wake up Shadeen? I think he has a good idea.
I think I have rope.
I wake up. Rope.
I was going to ask, does any of this commotion wake us up?
Not Tharl, but everybody.
I have rope. I have 10 feet of rope. Ulrich, I've got rope.
I've got hempen rope in my backpack too, now that you mention it. That's why you're the leader,
You know, it's a sad day when the Intelligence 9 gladiators got to be the one coming up with the ideas.
I take the rope and go, a fool judges people for the gifts they give him, and roll and tie it around tie it around the well and then start lowering it down.
That may be true.
Sometimes it's just nice to watch.
All right. So they start lowering the rope down the well, and you see there's some kind of wooden pole or something bouncing the rope around as it goes down. And you feel a little tug on the rope, and you hear down in the well, "Oh, very kind of you, very kind. Neri, dear, why don't you go first, Neri?" And
thank you.
So, Neri, are you going to try to climb up?
I'm going to try and climb up the rope. Maybe they can pull it. I'm trying to climb up, but if you could a little tug on the rope, that would be of great assistance.
Aye, we'll put our back into it. Come help me, Cowlick.
Yes, I hope I can help with the rope.
All right. I'm going to make a dexterity check for Neri here, since Nicole does not roll the dice. And everyone else, Joe, I need you to also make a strength check, and whoever's else assisting. If someone's assisting Joe, you'll get advantage.
Okay, so I'll do a strength check with advantage. 22.
Oh, nice. So Neri has a little trouble, apparently, but you're able to pull her up, and out of the well comes a middle-aged woman who is dressed as a normal townswoman, and she climbs right up and looks at you.
Oh, thank you so much. We've been trying to get out of there, but the poles just aren't long enough. These stupid 5-foot sections that he has, and we can't make them go together. Thank goodness somebody had some rope.
I'm questioning the universe. She does not look a day over 29.
I look over at Pyrrhic. An invisible thread connects those of us who are destined to know each other.
Are you a pixie of the well?
A pixie? No, I'm not a pixie. I'm down there. The guy that I work for is stuck at the bottom. Bring him up. He'll explain.
There's another one down there?
Yeah.
We have done good today.
Ulrich, bring up the other one.
Is he making you say pull him up?
What? No. I mean, I want him to come up. I mean, he can be annoying, but I'd like him to come out of the well. I think that would be good. If he doesn't come out of the well, I can't help him sell any poles, and I need him for that. He's got this backpack full of them. Please help him out of the well.
Are you sure? Now's your chance to get out of this yoke of manhood.
Hold on 1 second. No, okay, yeah, bring him up out of the well, please.
Okay, then. All right, we're all clear here, people.
All right, Cowlick, help me. Because remember, a beam, no matter how big it is, cannot support a whole house on its own.
Oh, no. Ask it. Can Thrall help you? I have a question for Cowlick over here.
No.
Okay, so I take Cowlick aside, and I'm like, Cowlick, now is the time for the Ate eating ray.
I'm trying to help with the rope, and I was really hoping we'd find a salesman of soap.
But that's not for you. That's Thrall's the dope for that. So let's have you do this thing over here.
Oh, sure. All right. You always know, Pyrrhic.
Thank you.
I wake up Shadeen to help with the rope.
Thank you, Shadeen.
What?
So again, you're lowering the rope back down again, I assume?
Yes, I am.
Yep.
All right. So you hear a voice down there saying, Oh, I say excellent. Thank you. I'll be right up. I'll give it a good tug now. I think I've secured it. Please give me a good tug.
Do you want to make another strength test?
Yes, please.
Easy.
Advantage.
Easy.
He does too. He does just about as well as Neri did.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I think we might have dropped him. We got Nate.
Oh,
Oh, so you hear and a sploosh. Oh dear, come on now. Neri, I believe I have fallen. Can you get those clank souls in there and give it another try?
With you.
I have an idea. How about you just tie the backpack full of poles to the rope and we'll pull that up and then we'll worry about you after. That'll make you weigh less. Sure.
Neri, I can't just give away all the merchandise to you. How many times do I have to talk about this? I am the sole proprietor. I sell the poles. Please reload the rope.
Look, Phil, I'm standing up here on the top of this little well situation with all these lovely individuals of varying trustability standing here, and they're listening to me. So you can either send the poles up and then we'll send the rope back down, or you can hang out down there. I'll throw you some bread. I'm sure they have bread.
All right, Neri, have you changed your mind about Phil's situation down there at the bottom? Does he need a little time to cool off there in the water some more?
I haven't changed my mind. I just want to let him know he's not totally in control of me all the time, and I wield more power than he thinks. So just gonna make him worry about it a little bit.
Yeah, let's put the worry of Neri and Phil. Let's do that for a bit.
Euphemia asks Neri, is the rope able to hold Phil?
Well, I think so. Maybe. I mean, I know it can definitely hold the backpack of poles for sure. I don't know if it can hold the backpack of poles and Phil. And I really need the poles more than I need Phil. So let's start with the poles and then we'll see how it does with Phil.
All right, we got to get the
little
poles
wet.
Let's get the poles, Ulrich.
Okay, very good. I need the rope's a little wet. I'll need a little extra back into it. If you can give me a hand.
Yep, I lend a hand.
So you're lowering the rope again.
Yep.
And you hear from the well. So the plan is I'm to tie the backpack to the rope then.
Aye, and then we'll pull that up. Easy enough.
Okie doke. So you feel a little bit of tugging on the rope as it feels like someone's creating a knot or something. And then he says, "All right, give it a go."
Normal or with advantage?
With advantage again because you got assistance.
All right. 19 on that one.
That should do it.
And you get a good one. Oh, but also, you're pulling up and it's going great. And as you're pulling, you're realizing it's a little heavier than maybe a backpack of poles should be. And as it gets near the top, you see there is indeed a backpack type situation. It's more like a giant quiver. Okay, so it's like a giant quiver with straps on it. And the rope is tied to the straps. And it looks like these things go over your shoulders. And indeed, in this thing is a giant, but instead of arrows or giant arrows, they're actually 5 foot sections of pole with little mini attachments on the end. But hanging from the giant quiver of poles is, in fact, a middle-aged man, male human with a little white beard. And he's hanging on to this. And he's smiling as you pull it up. And he's hanging from the bottom of the poles. And he says, "I did as you said. And here I am. Thank you so much for your help."
I look over at Karlik. Never judge a person by his appearance. And I step back and help him out.
I'm going to step over to Thrall. I'm going to say, it's time to be waking. It looks like there's a bunch of poles for sale. They're for the taking.
and as you say that, Phil picks up the bag, slings it over his shoulder with practiced ease, and says, "Indeed, my good bull-headed friend, I am Phil Damstier, sole proprietor of Viva la Pole Enterprises. I manufacture, marketeer, and purveyor of the finest multi-sectional 5-foot poles this side of Waterdeep. Actually, if you'll notice," and he pulls out one of the poles and spins it with practiced ease, pulls another one out and sticks them together, and with a tight twist, all of a sudden he's turned 2 5-foot sections of poles into one 10-foot section of pole. And he says, "These are the finest poles you've ever seen. 101 uses, my friends, 101 uses. Trap finding, remote door opening, vaulting, dancing, drape hanging, combat, very light climbing."
Whoa. What was that? Dancing?
Oh, yes. Neri, would you like to show them how we demonstrate our poles in the city? And he tosses over to you the 10-foot section of pole.
and I spin little 10-foot section of pole, and I say, oh, gentlemen, I would love to show you a little bit of this dancing, but unfortunately, due to the surroundings, it's a little hard to properly secure this for dancing. So, and I spin a little bit, but you're just going to have to take my word for it that when properly secured, the dancing with the pole, amazing.
I've done some amazing dancing with secured poles before, so I believe you, Neri.
See? And
Who was on watch that let these two people just walk right into our camp?
Well, you should have heard them muttering about trying to get them out of there by taking the tent apart.
Oh my God. All right.
And Phil says, I have to thank you all. We were trapped here by the Cyclops. We came up here. I was attracted by this lovely tent. And as Neri knows, I'm always looking for new section of poles. Neri, would you like to let them know of our fine inventory of poles and the various types of woods we have for sale?
Oh, yes, we have an incredible range of poles. There's pine, there's bamboo, there's walnut, and those are like, 1 gold piece, 2, maybe 3. But then if you really want to go all out and really impress your friends, we have mahogany, 5 gold pieces. That's what you want to go with. Also supports the most weight. No 250-pound limits or anything, which you might run into with some of the less expensive poles.
I'd love 2 sections of your fantastic poles. Mahogany only.
Euphemia pats Ulrich on the arm and have him come down and say, they didn't mention the best reason for the poles, to check the bottom of wells. How many sections do you think we need?
Falling in a well does make you wiser, doesn't it?
Yes.
Phil says it does indeed. And that's how it happened to us. We were up here looking at this fine tent to see if any of the sections of poles supporting it might be usable for other things when we heard the approach and giant footsteps of Cyclopses. Quick as you please, we popped into the well, only to find that the section of pole we had propped up there to hang from didn't quite support our weight due to the nature of the pole. And so we ended up finding ourselves in the bottom of the well, and we thought we should hang out there very quietly until the Cyclopses left. And it was only till we heard the fine talk between a couple of you that we realized that, in fact, thoughtful, caring people were here and not those dangerous Cyclopses.
So let me get this straight. You hung on the pole, onto the pole as long as you could, and then eventually you ended up wet?
Yes.
Okay,
So
then.
I only have one question.
That checks out.
Only one question then. What's at the bottom of the well?
I was thinking the same thing.
What do you think it's a well? It's water. What's at the bottom of every well?
Secret passage?
Treasure chest, magic armor, a place to the Underdark. It's hard to know until you go and see yourself.
A portal?
Here's my suggestion. You buy enough sections of pole to shimmy down the pole to the bottom of the well yourself, check it out, and then you have the pole all ready to go so you can shimmy back up with whatever wealth you find at the bottom.
Oh, Neri, I like what you're doing there. You're a craftsman as a salesperson, but didn't you just say that your polls failed to get you out of the situation?
Well, have you seen, Phil, I love you. I love working for you, but you're a portly gentleman, and I could have shimmied up the pole on my own. It's all about how you distribute your weight, and he had the bag of poles to carry back up, and I'm sure you'd have no problem. Once you got down there, you'd be just fine.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere near the bottom of that well. It's the guy in plate mail who wants to go do that.
So you're saying you didn't look even?
Well, it was very dark. We tried to look, but it was dark. You must have a magic something. Doesn't one of you have a magic globe that lights up to show you what's down there? Magic globes are a thing, right? Someone must have something to light up the well down there.
Oh, no, we use seeing spiders and dark vision dragon people to get through darkness. And, elves are not bothered by darkness, really, generally.
The aforementioned dragonkin leans over to the aforementioned spider bear dwarf and says, have they always been this fascinated with wells?
Oh, yeah, they have. Yeah, they are fixated.
I turn to the group, and then I kneel where I am, and I draw Morden's symbol in the dirt, the anvil with the hammer, and I say loudly, "Greetings, Morden. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to reach out to you on behalf of my kin. I was hoping if you had a moment, you could watch over Adric and Grudin, make sure they're not going through any additional suffering while your precious servant satisfies his fancy over this well that he seems to be obsessed with. You know, a little bit of this might be on you. I'm just saying.
I look over at Thrall. I go, you are forgiven for your transgressions against Moradin.
Okay, then. Yeah, that's a moment with family here, Neri. Sorry that you had to witness that. That's my life.
Perfectly all right. I understand. Family. Yeah, what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah. So you are human type people. It's dark down there. It makes sense that you didn't go exploring because you know what also hampers vision? Terror. And guess what? The Cyclopses are terrifying. They really wanted to eat us. And if they had not been so rude about it, we might have had some sort of discourse. But they made it very clear that we were on the menu. And so things happened. People nearly died. I'm glad we won't do that again. I'm sorry you mistrusted us to the point where you didn't feel like it was okay until, only Euphemia and myself were on watch. So, sorry for being scary. Euphemia, for our party, please put that down, like approachability as a goal for us.
Approachability.
Yes.
You guys, you were kind of scary collectively. I have to admit, you're a terrifying lot.
Well, it's a good thing we were here to rescue you. Could you imagine, Ulrich, if we had skipped by the well? They would have been stuck there forever.
And finding out what's at the bottom of the well is learning. And learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere.
So Phil says...
I look at Pierrick directly.
Phil says, well, I too thank you for the rescue. And I hear someone said you wanted several sections of 5-foot pole.
Yes.
Aye, mahogany. None of this cheap 200
mahogany.
And how many sections would you like? I believe I have 5 sections of mahogany.
Pyrick, how deep are most wells?
30 feet.
So let's see.
How deep is this well?
I lean into Shadow Child and I say, I think he just made that up.
Oh, what would make you think that?
Sense of improvisation about his tone.
I wager. I have all of 10 gold to my name. I wager it all. They find nothing in the well. I'm just talking to Shadow Child.
Very good. I will take 4 sections.
I only gamble with my life, not
so the mahogany
gold.
is our finest wood, and it's 5 gold per section. So that would be 20 gold pieces. Would you care for 4 then?
I will take 4 for that.
And he pulls out, again with a flourish, 4 pieces of darkly polished mahogany with fine brass fittings on the end so they can connect. And he hands them over to you. And I assume if you hand him the 20 gold, he will.
I give it to him in silver because that stuff's heavy.
It's like, oh yeah, well, good thing I've got a little more room in my quiver. And he dumps it back into his backpack there. And so that's at 4 or 5 foot. So you got 20 feet of pole now.
All right,
mahogany,
I'm going to
very strong.
I'm saying, let's see if this reaches the bottom. I'm going to attach it together and see if I can get it to the bottom while they're continuing the conversation.
All right. And Phil says, Neri dear, I think we should probably, we did, those Cyclopses did have that one little thing hanging from the string there in the middle of the well. Maybe we should offer that as a thank you to these fine gentlemen.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. And I rummage into this little pouch at my waist and I bring out, do you want me to say what it is? I know the pouch.
Yes, you can say what it is.
Here you go. Gentlemen, have this small obsidian statue of a horse, a pony. I'm making it a pony. It's a pony.
Perfect.
Oh, that's the spitting image of Moody. Oh, my dear Moody, I take the statue.
No ponies to Alt Pierrick.
Oh no! I'm gonna cherish this, Neri. I love horses.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This group here, they're hard on horses.
Well, take this one. Don't let them break it. It's really quite beautiful.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Neri. Is there anything we can do for you? Because you're upstanding female, fine human folks, and that's what this group really likes to try to help out. Like, hardworking hobgoblins, no, but you people, that's fine. So, and Neri, what can we do to help you?
I really think just by freeing us both from the well, you have done more than we could possibly have hoped for. And then by purchasing 4 sections of our amazing 5 gold piece mahogany poles, you have helped us so that we'll be able to get on our way and proceed to the next town to sell our wares.
Oh, where is the next town, Neri? where are you going next? Maybe we can help you steer away from possible dangerous situations.
Phil, dear, where are you dragging me next? I mean, where are we going next?
Well, we're all out of mahogany, so I say we head back to Waterdeep to restock the mahogany. Thank you so much for selling us out on that. Plus, it's nearly time for their big fall festival parade where we can always sell a lot of poles because pole dancing is always in season in Waterdeep. So I want to get back for that too.
Whoa, you guys are going south. You're not going up to Neverwinter. You're going down to Waterdeep.
It's a long road ahead of us. Yes.
Oh,
Pirate.
yeah. Well, I'm sure they could use the blessings of Moradin on their travels if they're going so far. Go to it.
Pirate.
Aye, well, Morden bless your path and guide you with the wind at your back and a strong hammer at in front of you.
I'm sorry, Darl. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was just curious. You had mentioned before that the three ladies at Fandolin were witches, and I was wondering how you tell that this is not a witch.
Oh, because Cowlick has been reading their thoughts, right, Cowlick?
Of course. And thank you for such a fine foal. You very great purveyors of the pole.
Wow.
You know what? I will take the 5th section of mahogany before you leave. No, seeing you're going to restock.
Phil says, well, we're in the lands I'm from. Sometimes I've heard it told that you can tell if someone's a witch by throwing them in a well. And if they come out, you're okay. So we might be good here with Neri.
Yeah, I thought that was only if they came out. Actually, if they came out without assistance, they were a witch. Oh, yeah, you're right then. You're good.
I believe it's if they lay way less than a duck is how it works.
Might be that. Well, Neri, I think we should be off. Thank you so much for your assistance again. And thank you again for buying that pole. It will never let you down as long as you pay attention to the weight limits. Thank you very much and have a great rest of your journey.
Oh, Phil, we hope to see you again. We're going to if we go down to Waterdeep, we're going to find where you are and what you're doing.
Look me up. Viva La Pole
Good day
Enterprises.
to you, Phil and Neri.
It was so good to be able to rescue Phil and Neri, that's for sure.
Aye, good deeds are done by good people, and we are good people.
Fare you well. And Phil starts to wander off.
Farewell. Goodbye. Viva la pole.
Viva la pole.
I will think of this pole when I use it. Think of you when I use your pole.
Whoa.
I don't think this went well.
I feel 20 gold lighter.
This is
save
more
the
than
humans and
finest,
let them fleece us. Isn't that what we do?
But Pirik, at least we didn't give our horses away for free, like beggars on the road, and we did kill these Ettins, and then thus free these people from the well.
Yeah, that's right. Instead of giving them away, we let them die horribly in an explosive fire. That's fine. No, I don't need to talk about this. Whatever. It's fine.
And we do have Euphemia's horse. And what is this pony they gave you?
Oh, I'm going to spend some time with little Moody 2. Yeah, Moody 2 and I are going to be friends. If you guys are searching the well, I'm going to start ritual casting Identify to see if this animal and whatever. And then, of course, ritual cast Detect Magic across the Cyclops bodies and then get ready. Because I know that Necromancer is coming back. We have to dispose of these bodies because we do not want angry Necromancers and giant Cyclopean zombies to be paired up. That is not something we're going to allow to happen. We are not going to let the universe do that to us. So we are going to search the bodies and then we're going to immolate the bodies.
What could possibly go wrong by letting a Red Wizard of Thay leave alive after killing all his zombies? Let us look at the well.
All right. So you're taking a look at the well, and is it Pyric? You're taking a look at the figurine.
Yes, and then the bodies, of course, during the whole rigmarole.
Right. So as you look at the figurine, although Neri called it a pony, this is what it actually looks like, which is fine. It is cute, So there you go.
Ooh.
And you're starting to sense some kind of magic situation going on here. So we'll reveal as you start to do Identify, you realize you're onto something. This thing is pretty potent.
Whoa.
Clearly
Moody
it has
2.
wondrous power.
Yeah,
Moody
it definitely
2
got
has
some
such
wondrous
power
going on. Yeah. So you're looking at the wondrousness of this, but meanwhile, the dwarf is
So I'm going to knot up the rope so it has knots every 3 feet. Tie it around, I would say colic, but I'll do it around the column and then throw it down there and use it to go down and see what's in the well. And if nobody has light spells, and I have, I'll use my dark vision.
Yeah, I'm going to cast light down in the well. I'll send a globe.
Oh, do it at the end of the stick. Do it at the end of my mahogany rod.
I will do it at the tip.
So we can stick it down without having to even go down. We can look down there first.
Perfect.
all right. So you got your
Good job, pirate.
all right. So you're going down there. You're looking down, and you do see down at the bottom of the well, which it looks like it's probably closer to 35 feet deep. So Pyric wasn't far off actually on his depth estimate. Unfortunately, the 20-foot long pole doesn't quite get you all the way to the bottom. So you might need to come up with some
25
kind of rope
foot. He
situation.
bought the extra 5 foot.
Right. I got all 5 sections. I bought at the very end.
Oh, you bought 5? Okay, excellent. Yeah.
So you're still 10 foot short, math wizards.
You and your math.
You got 25 feet of pole. But yes, as the wizard's pointing out, it's still 10 feet.
But we have
short.
10 feet. We have 20 feet of rope. My 10 feet.
Yeah,
his
no,
10
yeah, it's
feet.
got to be some kind of combination situation of pole and rope.
If you hang over, Ulrich, you'll give it another 4.5 feet.
Oh my gosh, I feel like the Cyclops has
So-
done less damage to my brain.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to have the pole hanging down so we have the light down 25 feet attached to the top of the well, and then go down, then climb down a rope down, using the rope to climb down to see what's down there. That gives us plenty of light on the last 10 feet for sure.
Okay. So,
Where's Euphemia's miniature or token?
what's that?
She's a south, all the way south. She was
She ran off the
I
board.
see.
She hasn't moved back. I'll move her back. Here.
Move it back. I'm at the rim of the well, keeping an eye on Ulrich, making sure he's
There
safe.
you go. Euphemia, did you ever recover your pony?
Star, yes.
Yeah. Where'd you put her? Because right now she's standing on the road out there and she's looking a little lost.
Oh, I'll go to the broken wall and whistle for her.
All right. Make
Make an animal handling
Make
check.
an animal handling check there, Rafe. Yeah, you did fine. The pony's getting used to you. She comes up.
Star is her name.
Star comes up. You're good. All right. I feel compelled to add the name Star to your description of your horse. All right. Okay. So meanwhile, back at the well, also I'm now taking it as a personal challenge to see how many episodes I can get use out of this particular map. So as you're looking down the well, go ahead and make a perception check, Joe. You get advantage now because you got the cool light thing going on at the end of the thing. Ooh, look at that roll.
20, baby.
19 and a 2, but modify that's a 20. So you do see some things. Now here is my offer to you, Joe.
Yes.
I've always wanted to run a Monty Hall campaign. And so now I'm going to do it.
Oh boy.
Okay. There's something at the bottom of the well that is emitting a small gleam. You can take whatever is at the bottom of the well right now, or you can play your fortuitous event card and have me roll on a random table.
Oh God. Decisions. I'm gonna poll the people here. What do you think, Rafe?
So door number 1. So now the audience is going to the audience. Take the door.
Go to the audience, Rafe. What do you do?
Phone a friend.
I say the card. Turn in the card.
What do you think, John?
I don't care.
John's like, can we just save our kin?
Role
For God's
playing.
sake.
All right, Craig. What do we do?
Oh, I think you'll be turning in your card because I think if you don't, you'll always be wondering what you could have had.
Seppi.
Is it on the table? The well becomes a mimic and consumes Joe.
So the card, no. The card says a fortuitous circumstance.
Seppi, here's the thing. If we roll badly, it could be a cursed magic item.
It could.
Oh,
So it's possible that it goes sideways. Because I guess we could roll trapper, in which case, yeah, the well is a trapper. So that could happen.
Right.
Oh,
There's a chance for danger, Joe. It's not 100% better.
Moradin.
Yeah.
He's your co-pilot there.
Stranger danger.
All right, Dan. What do you think?
Russ is pretty tricksy. There's probably something pretty sweet at the bottom of that well.
Yeah.
That's it.
Morgan Morden just contacted me, and he told me he's got an opening for servants.
All right, I'm taking the gleam at the bottom of the well. We're going to hold the card.
It's a good choice.
Taking the gleam at the bottom of the well, saving the card for later. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice.
For
you just
two
can't use it here.
It's
though. You
also
have to
held
use
for
it
later.
All right. Fair enough. All right.
Actually, Russ, if you want me to, I'll play it just because you did put something cool at the bottom of the well. I'll give it up.
No. I'm telling you, I've not changed. Whatever's down there was the original thing that you could have got the very first time if you hadn't screwed up.
Oh, I'm playing the card.
He didn't screw up. Pirate frosted it over.
Well, I'm not saying you screwed up. I mean, no one screwed up. If it hadn't just happened the way it went.
We're back here.
Yeah. So you can take whatever was originally in the well.
Yeah,
or
change
you
my
can
answer.
Play your
Take
card,
that.
and I'll roll for a new thing.
Take that, Joe.
Which one, Rafe?
The original.
All right, I'm taking the original. We're going to find out what we missed because Pirate frosted the well.
All right. Okay. Great. So you see as you see the gleam, you're able to move your staff slightly, and you see what looks like a finely crafted, but you can't quite reach. You got to figure out how to get this out of there. But a finely crafted pipe seems to be down, floating along the edge of the well there on the top of the water.
Well, I got 50 feet of rope knotted up, and it's 35 feet down plus 15 feet tied up to the well. So I'm going to lower myself down on the rope. I'll do a athletics check if you want me to.
All right. Oh yeah, give me an athletics check there, Joe.
With or without advantage.
Is anybody helping you? I don't know how they.
Yeah, I'm at the edge.
What are you doing?
I'm going to help him. I'm going to make sure he steps at the right place, not on a slippery rock.
Are trying to watch for
a
things.
knotted rope too.
Make a perception check there, Euphemia, to see if you do a good job of coaching him along. What's your bonus?
10 total.
10's not bad. Yeah, you're helpful. So, Joe, you have advantage thanks to Euphemia's keen halfling eyesight and a little bit of halfling luck thrown in there for good measure.
25.
Not 20.
Not 20, baby.
All right, Joe. So you get another card. You can choose to either keep the one you have or take this one, which is force an attacker to reroll.
Oh. All right. You know what? Well, I'm going to play the card I have and keep the one you gave me. How's that? Then, let's take the chances.
You're going to do what?
Can I? Never mind. Forget it. I'll take the card you just gave me.
Okay.
I'd
So
rather
go
take
ahead
the
and
reroll.
throw away your fortune card. Bring that out. You can delete that. And you can take
Yeah.
that one.
I should have played it. We'll see it. All right. You got it? Or how do I get it?
You got to click it twice to get it out there. And then
Yeah, it's out.
No, it's not on the board yet, though. You got to
It's
click
not on the board.
Try dragging it out. I forget how to do this.
All right. Hold on.
John,
First time I use the card. Hold on.
John, help your dwarven brother there get the card out.
Am I going to help him get it out?
How do you, I'm dragging it out to the table, but it's not.
I can steal the card.
You got to
Stealing the
click
card.
it once. Click it once to expand the little thing.
I just stole it. I just stole his card.
All right.
There you go.
Put it out, John. And then you drag it from up. Then you go over that and you drag it from up top. Drag it from there out. That's how you do it. So Joe just showed you, John. And then Joe, if you right click on the reroll card and click take it, you'll get it.
Got
there
it.
you go. All right. Awesome.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, you get down there perfectly. You slide down the rope like you've done this a million times before with perfect precision, and you deftly sweep out with one hand and grab the little pipe and start to easily climb back up the rope and make it out of there. No problem with that natural 20 there.
Excellent. All right. And now I've got a pipe to smoke.
You do.
Mhm.
And looking at it, make a perception check as you check out the pipe.
All right. Perception
And,
again.
and Euphemia, you're right there. You can also do that. And you get advantage because you're a halfling. And if halflings know anything about anything from the world of Tolkien, it's smoking.
But not this one. I got
Joe
a
is
6.
like, no, it's a pipe. But Euphemia, what do you see?
Same thing. It's a pipe.
You got a
What'd you
5.
A 5? Oh, you both got 5s?
I didn't roll advantage, though. I didn't know if you meant double advantage.
You get advantage. You get
Oh,
advantage.
yeah. I rolled a 6. You rolled a 5 total. And give you a second one, Rafe.
All right, here we go.
Oh, not
Even
one.
worse.
We had advantage. We don't count that one. You get the other one, but still not great. So you guys, to both of you, it looks like a pretty decent pipe.
Ulrich just throws it back in. This is junk.
I'm
All
no
that
thrall.
for
That
this?
doesn't happen.
That would be the best.
Hey, that's a good pipe. We should examine it. My auntie taught me a few things about pipe, but man, I think I must be exhausted. I can't figure a thing out.
Well, because we're poor, we'll have to share this pipe tonight.
I do have some pipe weed.
Shadeen, you
Yes.
starting to understand why Ulrich's an ass.
Well, I am wondering about this fixation with the well, and it doesn't seem to have panned out for any of us now, has it? And
That's not true.
You've got kin imprisoned, do you? That we're taking a break from saving so that we could come here.
We saved 2 people, got a magic pipe and a magic horse. Ulrich, that's a win.
Not only do we have kin, but you're missing out on glory instead of fishing in a well.
You know what I was
Yes,
just
I've got
thinking?
to say, although this is the birthplace of my greatness, and I have felt the touch of the universe upon me here, I feel like every moment we've spent here since that moment has been wasted.
I say to Cowlick, I think we better get moving before he turns into a spider again. That's really creepy.
Yeah,
He's always
I can
creepy.
turn into a spider.
I was expecting for this well. I mean, it was really built up. It had a lot of hype. We went to all this work, and all we found was a freaking pipe.
All right. Meanwhile, I believe also, so Euphemia, you said you were going to search the giants. Pyric. When did the giant searching occur?
Somewhere in the whole giant's disposal and body ruining for the necromancer.
The good news is it looks like the giants have been doing some pillaging in nearby areas, and they had a lot of coinage on them. So between the two of them, as you were getting ready to dispose of their bodies on their pouches, you found 200 silver pieces and 70 gold pieces.
Oh.
So there's pretty good loot on the giants. Now, it's a lot of coins to carry around, so you're going to have to figure out how to do that. But you have a lot of them.
Yeah. No,
you have a sledge on the pony, which is something.
Seppi, if you're planning on dividing that up, just remember that I don't take any of that.
Yeah, I don't care. Anybody can have whatever they want. Like, Shadeen, do you need this for your glory? I think we should change this from the old owl well to the well Shadeen.
I think I've received more than my fair share of gifts here at this well.
See, like, let's do something. Like, I don't know. Like, Ulrich cares about silver. Ulrich, here, have 200 silver.
Bacon. That'll pay for those the mahogany pipes.
Yeah, you go with your bad silverness.
And the last thing that was happening, Russ, during all this is Pyric was examining the horse figurine, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, so we just need to check the horse and the pipe, and then divide the gold at this point, whoever wants it.
All right, excellent. So, Pyric, your identification spell does indeed reveal that this horse situation is pretty interesting. So, what it is, and your Arcana knowledge, Pyric, I'm not even going to have you roll for this because you're just so good in Arcana. These things are known to exist. These various figurines of wondrous power. You've heard of them mentioned before, but you've never actually held one or seen one, and they're reasonably kind of hard to find. So this is kind of a cool thing. And so this one, it's a statue of this horse. It's small enough to fit in your pocket, so you can put it right in your pocket. It's not like some giant desk weight or anything. You can pop it right in your pocket. You have to use an action to speak the command word. And what you've discovered is, with your level of Arcana, you can reset the command word to whatever you want.
Whoa, that's good.
So you can pick the command word, Seppi.
Oh, nice.
And you have a moment during Identify spell to set it. So what are you going to make the command word?
For Moody.
All right, write that down. For Moody is the command word.
For Moody.
And when the command word is set, it becomes a living creature that is represented by the statue. And if for some reason there's not a quick D&D rule, if for some reason there's not enough space for the creature to appear when you say the word, or it would squish somebody, instead it just doesn't activate. So you got to have enough space for it to pop in. The creature normally, so for these, usually what they do, the creature's normally friendly to you and your companions. It understands your languages and obeys your spoken commands. And if you issue no commands, the creature will simply defend itself but take no other action. And the creature exists for the duration of its particular type. More about that in a second. And at the end of the duration, the creature will revert back to its figurine form. It'll also revert back to figurine form early if it drops to 0 hit points, or if to use an action to speak the command word again while touching it. So to get it back to normal, you got to be touching it again while you speak the command word.
Does it convert back if you feed it to a dragon?
Well, if it gets to 0 hit points, yes, it would. When the creature becomes a figurine again, it can't be used again until a certain amount of time has passed. Again, this depends on the figurine. Here's the type of figurine you have, though. Are you ready?
Yes.
Eric? This polished obsidian horse. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, get ready. It will become.
Wait. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
All right.
Okay, go.
All right. It will become a nightmare for 24 hours after activated.
Oh.
The nightmare will fight only to defend itself, but once it's been used, it can't be used again for 5 days. And right now, it is 2 days away from recharging, which might have been what was frustrating the Cyclopses.
A nightmare sounds like a great steed
But
for a shadow child.
You're sensing a problem, though. So I need you to make an Arcana check here for this last little nuance, because it's a little bit tricky. You're sensing a little bit of a nuance to this figurine, and you're trying to figure it out. So give me an Arcana check there. With all your bonuses, you get an additional +1 and yada yada. You get advantage because you're an awesome Arcanist. So make the
Can
roll.
I get Cowlick to help me because of his vast bardic lore?
Sure.
You have advantage already. So.
Sure. Take advantage. I'll allow it.
All right, then.
Of
Yes,
course.
sir.
Let me tell you about this horse.
Oh,
Natural 1.
good thing you have advantage. Try
Yeah.
again.
Have you seen my rolls?
Oh, there it is.
That
19.
is a
So you were going down this
28.
path. You're like, maybe I should research like I don't know, sea creatures. And then the bard's like, I'd stick with horses. And then boom, it came to you. So the nuance you realize is that this one, unlike most figurine, this figurine has a very particular feelings about certain alignments. So if you have a good alignment and you activate this figure, there's a 10% chance it will just ignore your orders, including the command to go back to figurine form.
Oh,
So that 10% chance is always there whenever you give an order. So whenever you give an order, if you're good, if you got a good in your alignment, I'd have to roll percentile dice. And on a 1 through 10, it will simply ignore that order.
oh.
Or if you're morally ambivalent like I am, perhaps it was meant to be.
Oh, yes. I think about giving it to Shadeen, but then I'm rammed. Like, there's a ring of truth that if I give things to Shadeen, I will never see them again.
Yeah.
I don't understand where this ramming sensation is coming from.
Rings a
but
bell, does it?
I feel like the chills of Hall Winter are disturbing me greatly. I do not know. But then I, of course, think moral ambiguity is the devil's volleyball. So it certainly should go to either Shadeen or the cannibal. So
Or the cannibal.
I will let them know that I am currently of a moral state that may, well, for the time being, disagree with this
Stephanie,
particular animal.
Did you have Pyric tell us about the issues it has?
I will. Unless, of course, I'm also taking time with the pipe.
Here's the problem, Pyric. I know you think I'm evil, but the universe doesn't.
The universe thinks. I said morally ambiguous. If you decide moral ambiguity is evil, that's your own amorality. Maybe you're more evil than I thought.
Well, let me correct myself. You're right. If you think I'm morally ambiguous, the universe does not. And so therefore this steed, which doesn't make much sense for me to have anyway, would not aid me. I think we should give it to Shadow Child, unless somebody else has an argument.
Moral ambiguity is the druid's shtick historically.
Now, one more thing, Seppi, because you rolled so well.
Yeah.
You also caught. There's one more nuance.
Uh-oh.
There's one more nuance. Again, only if you're good. If good's not in your nature, things going to listen to you fine. Everything's chill. However, if it rolls that 10% chance, and if it decides to ignore your orders, and you happen to be riding it, just a small note, just a real small footnote, the horse and the rider would be instantly transported to a random location on the plane of Hades, where the nightmare will revert back to figurine form.
Hades. Lots of shadow in Hades.
Just a small footnote, probably not worth mentioning. Just thought I'd throw it in there.
All right, a couple of things there. Number one, I'm going to keep the fact that we can reset the password to myself and the dangers of teleporting to Hades to myself. I no one needs that worry.
Sure, it seems very stressful.
No, and I want to cement Shadeen's love for me and the party by presenting this to Shadeen and say, in 2 days' time, you must, in a most triumphant voice, cry out its name. And I whisper, for Moody. into his, and I place it into his weirdly warm reptilian hand.
What was it that you whispered again?
For Moody.
For Moody. Okay.
For Moody.
If you say it like this, for Moody, it sounds like a cool name.
It does, but it's not. But it does. So for Moody. Yes.
All right. So we got the loot. We burned the bodies. We got the obsidian figurine. Joe, you have to do a short rest with the pipe to identify it, unless someone's got an identify spell. So
I do.
Do you want to spend another identify spell on the pipe, or do you want to wait and see?
You can do a ritual.
I'm going to ritual cast it.
All right, ritual cast it. All right.
For 10 minutes, so it's not like a big deal.
All right. So you're working on that. Anything else going to happen while Pyric does that? Are we ready to go after that?
Who else wants the gold to divide the gold up? If you do, type in, put it in there.
I gave you your share, Ulrich.
Well, yeah, but who else wants gold? I mean, just because I got
gold, I see it in the
people
chat.
don't want some. I'm happy to share. I just need enough to sacrifice.
Shadeen
my
knows
God.
the universe is going to provide whatever he needs, but never say no to gold. That's what he says.
Euphemia says, I could use some gold.
So Euphemia, Shadeen, Karlik, do you want any?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to divide all the loot by 3, and then I'll put it in the discussion.
Wait a second. I have the gold. Who says you're dividing my gold?
You just asked if anybody wanted it. You didn't want it. Therefore,
I didn't
we
say I was
divide by
giving
those
it
who
up.
do.
I didn't say I was giving it up. You can have all that silver, and I will give Shadeen some, and I will give Euphemia some, and I will keep the rest.
I'm sorry, but why do you get to make decisions on who gets to divide the treasure?
Oh, because I'm the one who counted how it found and counted it all, so you don't know. You were in a well.
Well, we wouldn't be at the well if it wasn't for Euphemia and myself.
Yeah,
Got
and
nice
2 of us wouldn't have died either. Call this an idiot tax.
We saved 2 lives, helped out some traveling merchants, to prevent these Ettins who had been robbing the countryside. And you think that's an idiot tax? I wonder who now has the better intelligence.
Not Ettins. You're still dumb.
I just find your wisdom is lacking as much as your intelligence may be big.
Oh, I
your
am
wisdom
just
is
not
very
talking
small.
about anything. Paladin Greed is my new whole chapter. Paladin Greed.
I might write a book on that and find out why we do it, because obviously you know nothing about Morden. I've been telling you for days about it, and yet you do not listen.
I just continue to talk in Elven over him, so I do not have to listen to him.
I'll just call Euphemia and Carl look up. Do you guys want to divide this up evenly?
Sure.
Yeah, that's the silver. You guys can have any amount of the gold. I have the gold.
But you didn't want it.
Oh, I said I had no use for it, but I didn't say I was giving you to.
And so you're going to keep it all for yourself then?
No, I'm
Who's
going
the
to
greedy
give
one
it
now, Elf?
I'm going to give you the 200 silver pieces, like I said, and then I'm going to give Shadeen and Euphemia as much as they want.
So do we divide? Do we choose this as a dictatorship where you decide who gets it?
Yes.
I think Euphemia is the leader. I will let her make that decision. And I think we've all decided that is a wise way to go.
I think Pyric will give it to whoever needs it when they need it.
Thank you, Euphemia.
I'm going to divide the silver up amongst the people that needed it, that wanted it.
How much is that, Ulrich?
Everyone will get 60. We'll get 65 gold, 65 silver each.
Oh. I'm up to, I don't even know if I can carry it.
Yeah.
I can carry it for you if you'd like.
I have 185 silver.
And you might want to use the pony or the sledge. So, but just make it note how much is on the pony so that if, like, I don't know, a dragon or something eats it, we know where the gold went. I'm not saying there's going to be another dragon anytime soon. I'm just saying things happen to horses in this campaign.
Do you think we can get on to saving our kin before the rifts that are being created in this party tear us apart and we're not able to help them? And I look at Pyric and Ulrich. And then lastly at Euphemia.
I said we should have gone like 20 minutes ago or you're going to turn into a scary spider.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Halfling lass did
I've
say
been
that.
ready to go for a day and a half now.
All right. So it sounds like everything's ready. Have we figured out the gold situation? Just making sure we got
Yeah,
that.
I'm holding on to it for the party.
All right. And the silver all went to Ulrich, right? So Ulrich has 200
No, Ulrich
silver.
divided all.
I gave 65 gold. I asked who wanted it.
Got it, okay.
Shadeen wanted it, and Ulrich and Euphemia. So we divided that evenly.
Got it.
And Russ, I put 198 silver, which is all the silver I own on this planet, on Star the Pony.
Excellent. Okay.
And
Perfect.
then what did the pipe come up with for identification?
Yes. So it is a very nicely crafted pipe made of a combination of ivory and a nice black stained wood. And you discover that while it is magical, and while smoking this pipe, you can use an action to exhale a puff of smoke that will take on the form of a single creature, such as a dragon or a frog moth or a bear or whatever you want. And the form must be small enough to fit in a 1-foot cube, and it loses its shape after a few seconds, becoming an ordinary puff of smoke.
So 2 things. I own a pipe like that in Latro Online, just FYI, and it puffs out dragons.
Yeah, there you go.
And secondly, Thrall we just have the universe. I can now puff an animal and he can turn into that animal.
That's true. That's amazing.
So here we go.
I take back everything I said. Now let's get on our way.
You see, you're my brother too, Thrall. I was thinking it would be something good. Maybe it can even save Adric.
Aye.
Right.
All right.
How often can you puff it?
As often as you like.
All right. I will know the entire monster manual by the end of the night.
The problem is
It has
only
to
be
be-
1 foot by 1 foot tall.
Yeah, it's small.
Does
All right.
the
Well, I
smoke
guess I don't know.
become look like an actual living creature?
It does look. So you remember when Gandalf exhaled the ship that looked like a ship and flew through a circle? It's like that level of detail. Now we'd have to quibble about whether or not a drawing, for example, a really lifelike drawing of an animal would count for a druid, because I'm pretty sure the druid says you have to see the actual animal.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says.
But we might be able to make some rolls to see if the halfling getting good with the smoking pipe thing, and you might be able to grab one. So I'd be willing to let that have a chance of working, but not always working reliably.
And Russ, here's what I was thinking with that is,
Yep.
Let's say it's a cat. Euphemia's probably seen tons of cats. She
Yeah,
might be
it's going to
really
be based
good
on
at that.
Euphemia too, because if Euphemia's never seen the animal,
Right.
the pipe's just supposed to work, but it needs to
It's
know
kind of
something.
useless to me. That's all right.
Well, not if Euphemia saw something you haven't. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for stuff to. Well, she's not going to have seen anything that's actually useful for my.
I was in the red brand for a little while there.
Never know. All right. So, what's the plan now?
I now
Time to
Dragmore
go.
Castle.
Who wants this pipe?
Euphemia. That was decided.
I thought the halfling was taking the pipe.
Okay.
Euphemia and Ulrich we're going to share it together.
Oh,
I
Okay.
will have a few smokes in the evening. Get good with it.
This is the thing, but I feel like Cowlick has shown the most ingenuity when given things of spellcraft nature.
I will share it all in the evening together then.
True. That's a good point, Pirate.
If anyone could craft something that would help us in unique and special ways, perhaps it's. Oh no, he's asleep. Never mind. I just handed to Euphemia.
He's asleep. Never mind.
Well, Doc is missing. That's why.
I know.
All right. So it must be a laundromat issue. Meanwhile, if we scroll back down on the map there, John, you will see that you are currently at the Owl Well.
We'll call it the treasure well from here on out.
I have
No, it's the Well of Shadeen.
It's the Well of Shadeen.
The Well of
It's the
Shadeen.
well
Sorry.
of the universe speaking to Shadeen.
All right.
Does anybody, Pyric or Thralric, do you have like mending or anything where we could actually inscribe that in a stone? The Well of Shadeen?
Mending will not do that.
Okay.
Oh, you could take bits of rock and we could mend them to the thing to spell out Shadeen. But I'm not going to say that because we've already used too much time.
Got it.
That's how I feel about it as well.
As do I.
So I'm just going to add that there to our Owl Well, aka Well of Shadeen. And it's now pretty much a straight shot over this last little bit of grasslands and into the Neverwinter Wood to head on into Cragmaw Castle.
Euphemia says, mount up as she gets on her pony.
All right. So you're on your way, and give me sort of a sense of how rough marching order and how close you're planning on getting before are you just going to ride right up to the castle? Are we going to do any kind of scouting situation? What's the plan?
Well, I think we should scout it out personally, but we have to know where it is to scout it out. So,
right.
My thoughts of it would be straight shot if we know where it is. And then, when we get close before they could see us, we'll scout it out, assuming we know where it is.
So, John, don't you have you have an ability to know where someone tells you something, where it is, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I have this. Oops. This.
What's this? I can't see it.
Yeah. Wow. That was impressive.
That is
There it is.
impressive.
Yeah.
I have an excellent memory.
He's a
of maps.
wanderer.
And you can
John is
always
a
recall the
wanderer.
The good news is,
settlements.
He goes around and round and round and round.
yeah. So the good news is, the druid in Thunder Tree gave you an excellent description of exactly where the castle is. And as a druid yourself, you were able to get that, and you think you would know exactly where it is when you get really close to it. There's just one little
I don't
problem.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't remember any of that because you got hit on the head.
Right.
So that's a nuance. However, if another party member can try to describe it to you, you might have a rough guesstimate of where it is.
Well, I spoke with Karlik, and Doc sent me a bunch of rolls, and they all sucked. So he knows nothing about where it is. So I will, Euphemia, if you can give me some insight onto where the castle is, being that you're a scout and all.
Yes, I do recall your brother, the druid. He mentioned that it's due east of the Owl Well, a little bit into the woods, maybe half a day's journey. I'm not sure.
All right.
But
So
it should be a straight shot.
Why don't you make a nature roll and take advantage because Thalric has this ability to understand the land, so it makes it a little easier. So make an advantage nature check for me.
Do you want nature or nature's good.
Yeah, I think that's right. So 4, but you got advantage. There you go. Yeah, that's great. 24. So yes. So given the nature of the woods in this area and your druidic ability there, Thalric, you feel like you know precisely where something of that description must be given the lay of the land in this area.
Perfect. Then we're going to approach it at such a way that we have cover, but we're far enough away that we won't draw any attention. And then once we're there, Euphemia and I can go in for a closer look with Pass Without Trace. And then if we discover a way in that is not through the front door, then we can all pass without trace in. Otherwise, we might have to come up with a better plan.
So is the we like people who are considerate of the noise of others, or does the we include shock and glory here?
If after we look at it, you mean?
Well, your approach, these two are not known for their quiet.
There's no fool like an old fool. We send in the scouts first, then we all go in together.
I can create a spell that's going to make even Ulrich quiet.
Okay, let's do it.
To a degree.
I say to Thralric, this means don't continue. The plan is dead. Go back.
Winking means all-out attack. Winking means all-out attack. Drop everything. Murder every innocent bite. That's what a wink means.
All right.
Correct.
I've got that one. Euphemia, this means run like hell.
Okay. Oh, and
when we run like hell, I will turn into a beast and you just jump on and we'll ride like the wind.
ooh, don't make it a spider.
I won't. I'll turn into something lame like a horse or something.
And I also remind Thrall that pointing at something means don't go there.
How do you feel about lions
Yeah, lions are fine.
and snow leopards?
Even better. Ooh, excited.
All right.
She loves cats.
Got it. Okay. Excellent. So you're making your way there. What is the marching order right now? Anybody got that for me?
I'm usually with Pyric.
If we're walking side by side, we're gonna try Ulrich, Shadeen, Euphemia, Pyric, and then Thrall, Karlik.
Right.
We can change
Ulrich,
that if you want.
Shadeen, Euphemia, Pyric, Thrall, Karlik, right?
And single file will probably go Ulrich, unless we want to scout out ahead. But
No, we're only going to scout when we get close.
okay,
All right.
So
All right.
we'll
So
go.
John, what are you using to have the whole party as a group move safely? Are you just going to go in marching without worrying about that till you get within
Well,
what distance?
if I know this terrain well enough, how close do I think I can get before making noise will be a problem?
Well, you don't know if they have any kind of perimeter guard or scouts. That's you don't.
Right. But there's you're
Yeah,
talking
you
a
probably
mile?
feel like a mile out maybe would be safe. Typically,
That's what we're trying to do.
with
Right.
it with the woods. Probably got pretty good cover.
All right. Well, I can. We can travel. Just base walking, probably a couple miles an hour. That's slow
Yep.
walking.
And Russ, I have another standing order, please.
So
Sure.
I will, when we're a mile out, Russ, I will cast Pass Without Trace, and I'll throw that up in here. That will give us all plus 10 to our stealth as long as everybody's within 30 feet of me. So I can, if we stay grouped up like this, we're probably fine.
Shadows and silence. I like it.
And how long does Pass Without Trace last, Johnny?
It lasts an hour, so we should reach the castle within roughly a half an hour, just based on average walking speed.
Got it. All right. Okay.
And I have a standing marching order for all marching.
What do you got?
Okay.
If ever encountered, like if we're on our way and hobgoblins or whatever encounter us, Euphemia is going to slip off her pony to the right, hide no further than 50 yards directly right from her pony. So they'll always know where I am. And her role is to hide, and then she'll try to get advantage and do whatever needs to be done.
Ray, 50 yards is huge in D&D.
25 yards.
50 feet.
I would say
50 feet. That's actually what I meant to say.
50 feet is fine, yeah.
50 feet is what I meant to say.
50 yards, 150 feet. You won't even be on the map of most of maps.
That'd be fun.
All right. Okay. So good news. You make it to within a mile of the castle without incident. And you now, I think you'd hinted that you wanted to have some scouting situation going on. How's that going to work?
Well, can we see the castle yet?
The woods are still kind of dense. So at a mile away, no. It's not like on some hill high above the wood or anything.
Do you think we could get another half a mile? I'd like to get closer before we scout out. I mean, we're going pretty quiet.
Sure.
Yeah, we have to start making some stealth rolls, but sure.
Let's do it.
All right, I'll try everybody to be their quietest. That includes you, Ulrich.
Yeah. So your spell gives you advantage on this, right?
Nope, it gives you +10.
Ah, excellent. So a
So
1
even
still
if they have-
screws you then.
Even if they have the disadvantage, he still has +10 on his worst die.
Right. But a 1 is a 1.
A 1 is not an automatic failure in D&D, but it could be in your world.
It's not an automatic failure, but you get a little red card. Okay, so all right, fair enough. So I need everybody to how close you're going to get, John? A half a mile? What are you thinking?
Half a mile.
Yeah, or until I could see it. I mean, half a mile is a long way.
No, it is, but don't forget it's wooded. So there's this, you got to get pretty close to see it.
Right. So if we have to keep moving to see it, that's fine. It's got to be up on do I know if it? You said I know the perfect place. Does that mean? Do I think it's on a hill or in a because it's a fort, right? It's got to be up somewhere I can see stuff.
Could be. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, but you don't know of any.
I say it'd be silly to leave the party that far behind. So I say we keep moving.
All right. So let's everybody make stealth checks then with +10.
I have disadvantage because I'm in heavy armor.
Yes.
I have a 37.
You still get +10.
I got a 2.
So you get a 12.
Oh, 12. Yeah, 12. Sorry.
I got a natural 20, but I'm at disadvantage, so I technically only got a 25.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Did anyone? Let's see.
I got a 1 of all the people.
Did you get a nat 1?
I did. I still have a 14. I still have a 14 stealth, but
well, the good news is their scouts rolled that, so you're good. You make it within a half a mile of the castle. Sorry, did we say half mile already? You make it to within a quarter mile of the castle. You feel like, you think you can just start to make out in the tops of the trees. There might be some sort of like silhouette, but it's a very heavy wood, so it's hard to see much.
Did John get a red card for rolling a 1?
He needs to get a red card. Thank you.
Thank you, Seppi.
I confirm with Thralric. Do we want to scout together, or one goes right, one goes left?
Well, if we stay together, you'll get the bonus.
So let's sweep to the right, sweep to the left, come back, tell the party what we see.
All right, you guys have to just be quiet because you'll no longer get my bonus or my benefit of the spell. So we only have about well, we should have made it to the castle. Yeah, so we still have a decent amount of time because we should have made it to the castle with a half an hour to spare.
Yeah, you still have a pretty good time because we were going in less than a mile.
All right, we'll look around. As we approach, we're gonna be looking for scouts and stuff that need to be taken out.
Okay, so basically Euphemia and Thralric are doing a scout. The rest of the party staying behind, and you're going to try to see what's going on and then come back to the report to the party. Is the plan?
Right.
Excellent.
Yeah, we just want to get an overview of the castle so that we can come back and make a plan.
All right, excellent. Okay, so we're going to do a little like mini game here. Here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to have you guys sneak all around and move miniatures and have it because that would not be as fun with everybody separated. So instead, I need you guys to roll 2 things. I need you to each roll. You can either assist each other, so these will have advantage, or you can roll them separately. But we're going to do a perception check to see how good a job you're doing at detecting the lay of the land here and what information you can bring back to the party. And you also need to make a stealth check to see if you get discovered.
Here's what I suggest, Euphemia. You assist me on perception, and I'll assist you on stealth.
Plan.
All right.
Why don't we start with stealth? Because you may not have a chance to much if this goes really bad.
So you have advantage with a +10 on top of your normal plus. Yeah, that's a 30. That's a 37.
Oh, good, because the guards got an 18, but they don't beat even with their bonuses. They're not going to beat 37. So you guys are moving through like smoke ninjas.
Right.
Nobody sees that.
Exactly.
All right, now let's see what you actually discover. Let's go ahead and roll.
I don't know why I did that. I got a 14.
14 on perception. All right, that's pretty good. It's not.
Unfortunately, I don't get a +10 to that.
Not the greatest perception ever, but we'll take that as a win. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna need to get a little fancy here. So, all right. So the good news is, you guys are able to go and scout the situation out, and then you come back and Euphemia, you're able to draw in the ground. Actually, Thrall, you would do this because you were the one actually doing the perception.
And I also have that wandering thing, which gives me.
Yeah. So you're drawing the outline of the castle in the dirt with some highlights. And here's what you draw. And then I'm going to also show. Hang on, I got to get 2 instances going here because my.
While he's drawing that, I'm shaking my head, wondering what we're going to do. And I say to Carlo, if only we had a cart, that would be something.
I think it's over the albino.
We have an albino?
Exactly.
I look at Pierrick, kind of.
All right. Let me see.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Euphemia, is this kind of like a bagpipe situation or a Lear situation? Or
No. It's a meditate. You should sit and meditate. Think of your mother.
Oh, no, I think he said miming. I think
So
this
here's
is
the
a strictly
situation.
miming situation.
So Euphemia and Thalric get back, okay, and they draw on the ground this basic outline of the castle. Now the situation is, it is a pretty decent sized castle. However, it doesn't look like who's ever there now, which by the way, you spotted some hobgoblins and goblins, which I'll draw in a second. However, it's not been in good repair. So this castle, it's definitely not originally a hobgoblin and goblin castle. It once probably belonged to someone else, and it's since fallen disrepair. Therefore, the woods are no longer cleared around it, which is why there wasn't this nice little castle on a hill with a line of sight.
That's actually good for us.
To invading hordes. And there are sections of the wall, as you can see here through Thrall's excellent hand at drawing in the dirt with his druidic nature, where the walls have sort of started to crumble, and you might be able to go right on in there.
Like
Now,
Bear Keep, I call it.
Yeah. So
Did we see Russ, did we see any bugbears?
Well, you saw some things. So your perception wasn't awesome. So you didn't see like super cool stuff, but I'm going to draw some things here to give you kind of some things. There was it looked like at most of the major openings, there were in fact some guards. So here and here, are you guys seeing some red?
Yes.
Nope. I'm not.
I see.
Top left-hand side.
I see
So,
it now.
It's on your
Up
screen now.
there were 2 hobgoblins. I'm going to put a little H. So this is Thalric describing it, but I'm not going to try to do John's voice. So they put a little hobgoblins up there. Then over here on this side, you think you saw a goblin peering through this arrow slit. And then over here also, you saw more hobgoblins over here. H's. And then down, you were able to do a pretty good circle of the perimeter. And down here, you saw a large shape lurking, shadowy movement through, going back and forth between these arrow slits. You couldn't figure out exactly what that was. And again, because your scouting was not all that in a bag of chips. Again, here, goblins, several of them walking back and forth on patrol. Here, I'm going to circle this, well-armored hobgoblins at this main entrance. And they actually had halberds. They were trying to look very official. Like, like they were all that in a bag of chips.
So do you have to? I don't understand the structure on right where I'm pinging.
Okay, so yeah, this is interesting. So it's actually this looks like at one time it was the main grand entrance. So there's like this little right here. I'm making little dots. That's like the dirt road, and then it's flanked by 2 staircases that go up to a platform that then enter the castle this way.
Cool.
And this is where the portcullis was. So it looks like this was sort of the main entrance at one time. And then there was a side entrance down back in the southern part with this little thing. And there's a door here that prevents just automatic entry.
So these guarded openings, are those ground level?
Yeah, you can walk right in there, except that there's guards.
Right.
Yep.
And is the distance from the armored hobgoblins to these hobgoblins, are they really 50 feet, 75 feet, and 40 feet? Is it to scale roughly? Is it really only 7 squares and 9 squares? Or is this drawn by a dwarf in the dirt?
Well, let's see. His perception wasn't great. So you're not really sure if the scale, I mean, John does have that really good ability, but unfortunately his perception wasn't flawless. So let me just see real quick here. What we've got going on here. You feel like, John, make a perception check on that. Insight, John. Give me insight, actually.
Insight?
Yeah, insight.
All right. 16.
16's pretty good. Yeah, you feel like you got pretty close to scaling this. You're feeling pretty good. In fact, you're insulted that your brother would even suggest such a thing.
I'm insulted whenever he talks.
Fair.
So there's quite a few ways. I'm open to suggestions, but I know Euphemia doesn't like my spider form, but I could walk right up the back wall. We could use a rope and all lower ourselves in where they're not guarding. Oh, Russ, was there a second level or is it just
That's
one?
what I was wondering.
Yeah, great question.
How many levels?
Yeah, because we could skip the lower level. That'd be awesome.
I'm wondering if there's a dungeon, Threlric.
Right. Well, that's true too.
Is this a report or this is what they're seeing? I'm unclear on how I should
They're
be.
back. They're
We're
back.
reporting to you.
We came back, Pyric, and we're writing this in the dirt in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
But
why I'm
I'm
questioning
together.
it. My brother's got terrible memory. Doesn't even
Yeah,
remember the last 5 days.
Yeah. Right.
I'm a little concerned that there are no bugbears on your, and we know they're around. So
You would think they're around.
Right here, baby. Bugbears. See where I'm pointing? Those are obviously bugbears.
no, I don't think that's a good assumption. It could be, but I don't think we should assume. So,
You want to go talk to him?
no, I don't.
Russ, did we see a second?
I
level?
want you to go talk to them by yourself, unarmed.
Pyrrhic, Ulrich,
That's not going to happen.
Pyrrhic, Ulrich, when a castle is in disrepair, there will be at least 6 bugbear.
You know, he's
the wisdom of
chiming
the
off. He's got
bonds.
every word's a gem.
It's hard to argue. So Russ, was there a second level?
Yeah, several questions were asked. Let me just chime in here. So, this looks like, I mean, they've been calling this thing a castle. It really looks like a level 1 fort. So there's really only one level to it. It's not super tall.
Okay.
But yeah, and every, by the way, all these little, I'm pinging now, all these little, sort of slots in the walls there. Those are arrow slits, right? So, let me get this going here. This is an arrow slit.
What time of day is it, Russ?
What's that?
What time of day is it?
Right now, it's actually, given how far you travel, it's sort of early evening at the moment.
So we could wait till dark too.
That will not help our Minotaur.
Russ, I'd like to try the talking stick method here.
Sure. Okay, so we got to start throwing to each other.
Yeah.
So Rafe, you nominated the talking stick up. So Rafe, you get the talking stick.
Euphemia
Don't forget
asks-
to toss it to someone else.
Yep. Euphemia asks Seppi, Pyric. Pyric, I think you have the ability to fly. And I'm wondering if you have the ability to turn invisible? Because we need to find Adric. And the stick goes to Pyric.
Anybody can have the flying potion. I don't care about keeping the stuff.
Okay. Oh, it's a potion.
Oh, yeah. Maybe later I will be able to harness the winds. But I think Thrall had an idea about jumping in the middle of them and committing suicide. Thrall, what was the idea? I didn't hear any. After you were like, let's sneak past them. I'm like, and then we're surrounded. I was like, I'm sure there's more to it. You usually do our tactics, so explain it to me.
Well, we have quite a variety of things we can do. We can take out the guards one at a time and hope we don't make enough noise that we draw the other ones. That's a possibility, although that's time consuming. I also, you remember the fog I've dropped on the Cyclopses? I can call upon more power and make it twice as big, which will cover the majority of that whole place. Now, we can't see either, but they can't see us. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, I could go in as a spider and be able to blindside, but
I'd rather drop shadow.
The problem is your shadow is not that big, but we can do both.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you and
I
I
like
can
it.
both see in the shadow.
Oh, I like this stick thing. Yeah. So Shadeen and you could disorient them, and then we could pick them off. I think that's the best way to use Ulrich's strength. Ulrich loves a melee.
I'm more of a talker than anything else, but I seem to be forced into combat more often than not with this group. However, I would feel, seeing we're talking combat, thank you for that, I say we come in and attack this side from the south, taking out whatever's here as best we can, and then moving up into this door, because that seems the better way to avoid these armored hobgoblins here. How does anybody feel about that?
Toss the stick, Joe.
And I give it to you, Karlik.
Is there a roof on this level 1 fort?
That's to you, Russ.
Excellent question. Euphemia or Thralric, did you think to check for a roof? Let's go ahead and make a perception check. You would have had to kind of climb up to see. So let's see.
14.
So
Modified 20.
yeah, so you didn't, but Euphemia did. So it does seem like while it's only one level, that one level was by design, and actually you were able to see a couple things, Euphemia. You noticed there is a roof in most of the areas except where those broken areas were, and also you were able to kind of glean through some of the broken areas. There seems to be intact walls and rooms inside also.
Was I able to detect if there was a dungeon?
Well, you couldn't possibly see every nook and cranny because you didn't go inside, so you don't know where all
Correct.
the staircases go. So you did not know if there's.
But I didn't see any perhaps staircases down or barred windows.
There wasn't like an obvious, this castle's built on a mound because there's an entire dungeon under it. No.
Okay.
Although there
Okay.
might be. That doesn't mean there isn't. It just
Right. I got you.
Okay.
Cowlick has the talking stick, I think.
Yeah.
Is there an approach we could take where they couldn't see us coming?
Oh,
You have to toss the stick.
Who are you tossing it to, Karlik?
Not one without us hearing the archers' strings a thrumming.
Don't forget to throw out another person's name so we keep moving the talking around. That's all I'm saying.
Thrall, what do you say?
Well, if I remember correctly, the woods grow up right up to the walls because I haven't cleared it recently. At least that's what the universe told me. So I think that Shadeen, he can clarify more, but if he drops his darkness on whatever section we prefer, then I can go in as a spider and Shadeen as himself, and we can take advantage of that. The nice thing about it being all chopped off and roofed is that it won't be easy for one group to get to the other. So we just need to pick a point that we decide is the weakest. I don't know, Shadeen, do you see a point you'd want to go in there?
The front door looks good to me.
All right, Ulrich, where would you want to go?
Again, so to repeat, I think either the southern wall, however, if Shadeen wants it for glory, I will follow him with Mord's hammer.
Glory is going to find me wherever I go, my friend. I don't have to look for it.
So let's try the southern wall then.
Pyric seems to have a question.
So I think it's a terrible idea to fight them where they're strong and where they know the terrain. Isn't it a better idea to draw them to us someplace woodsy and dangerous that we could pick them off as they stream in?
We hate the woods.
I don't know if we hate the woods.
Most of us don't hate the woods.
I think Pyric is onto something. What if we just did something that drew away at least part of the forces, and then we could slide into, we have to get into the building. So I don't know if we can draw them all to us, but we might be able to draw some of them, but then you're also alerting them. So,
Well, I think that's going to happen with this group there, Thralric. I think our question is not if we're going to kill them all, because we are. It's how we're going to kill them all, because we are. We do not want to be surrounded by them. We do not want to deal with them in traps at the same time. we are systematically murdering them as Moradin's death squad, and then we're finding your kin. That has been the plan that has been let out before us.
Aye, orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, they deserve to die. Pyrrhic, it's about time you understood that. Good job.
Yeah, what he said. And but look at it this way. Let's try some logic. They're guarding this. They not all of them will come, but if we are there and they're guarding this, all of them will jump on us. So they will either have to split up or negate their duties. And the question is if they have some more people someplace else, which I do not think so. So Russ, I would like to use my understanding of linguistics and history and go over the various names that Cragmaw Castle could have in these various things and see if there's any historic lore for me to understand that this place is actually on a crag or some sort of deep dungeon type place.
Ooh, okay, excellent. Go ahead and make that check.
All right.
I'm going to be history check.
I do like me some history. And, you can't role play through dice.
Nope, you can do this, though. I believe in you.
Oh, I got an 18.
That's respectable. That's respectable here. Let me see if I can. Let me just dig this up really quick. I wasn't ready for this, honestly. This is pretty clever. Let me just find this real quick.
I feel like we should use a hammer for a hammer, and we just have to set up the anvil.
Okay, so the castle was originally built, and this actually makes a lot of sense that you would know this. So thinking about it, and then as sort of the dwarf, the druid's been sort of drawing the picture and the nature of some of the curves and the fact that it's in this part of the wood, it seems like it was originally one of those castles that a wizard made. So using a high level spell, a talented wizard noble of old Falorn from an ancient realm that was once controlled much of the north. And it was raised by magic. And, sometimes they could increase or decrease the tower size at will back in those days. And for whatever reason, he reduced the overlapping towers back down to this current height when last he used it. And yeah, that's all you know about it. But it definitely was something that predates these sorts of creatures and was not their original home.
Euphemia was thinking about, as Pyrrhic was talking, taking her new leadership role seriously. She says, I don't know that we should necessarily take on the whole castle looking to slay every creature. Perhaps a combination of let's draw them out, create a distraction, and Thralric either uses his cloud or not uses his cloud, sneaks in as the spider and tries to find Adric and his cousin. And I'm wondering about that human, what was he, the baker, Pyrrhic, or the candlestick maker? There was like another human or something. Maybe he's there too. And just find them, and then we can figure out how to get them out.
He sounds like a waste of flesh.
There is the problem too that we can't.
Rafe, take a point of inspiration for not properly naming the butcher, but getting him in there through fairy tale reference.
There is the problem too that there is possibly the black spider here, and he has a map to the Wave Echo mine, which would be bad if it fell into bad hands.
So we got to look for him too.
We got to kill them all, he says.
No, we don't.
I heard.
We don't have to kill them all. But we do need to rescue our kin and whoever else we might find in there. And if we can get a hold of the map or take out the spider at the same time.
Can you be a small spider or a squirrel or something they wouldn't know?
Ooh, a squirrel.
I can be any of those things, but don't know how useful. I mean, I could get in with it if you want me to go in by myself, but I don't know if that's. I mean, it's it's an attempt I could do, or we could go in. Once you draw their attention, I could go in with Shadeen or because he can drop the darkness on the corner, and then we could wipe those guys out and work our way in. But
or I could drop the darkness on myself, and it'll go wherever I go.
Well, that's even better.
Do you have a way of communicating with us if you're inside using magic?
I do not. Maybe
could
pirate.
scream out.
I could communicate with you by yelling. I could yell.
Do you,
My
Coward?
voice is magical. I could also have trumpets play.
Yeah, what if maybe if Cowlick, because how do we know if you get into trouble?
You won't. That's the problem with separating. We won't.
We'll
know
come find them and rescue them too.
What if you can you set up a magic signal I've seen pirates shoot fireballs in the sky and snowballs. What if I don't know, maybe Cowlick can play a special tune that we know is danger?
I can play a pretty special tune. I just got an idea, guys. What if we just sneak up towards this door down here? The one down here to the south. I can't ping for some reason. It's circled. We approach where that arrow. Yes, right there. That's my idea. That's a great approach.
Oh, look, you're a genius. First one to say it tonight. I love it.
We'll most likely get spotted by these three, and we'll have to take them out. But that's an option.
I can cast sleep on them.
That's
so
an
the
option.
question is, do we proceed together or do we separate? I will let
Together.
you all decide.
I've already used the spell once. I can use the spell again to make us quiet as we approach that. Then Carla can sleep them, and then we can go in through that door.
I like an approach where fewer people die than need to. Like, don't get me wrong, but what's probably going to happen, knowing our track record, is we'll start a little sneaking, and then somebody will open the door and go, surprise! And then somebody will do Thunder Wave, and then everybody who's in this little bit of distance is going to be on top of us.
Yeah, we can't just blame Frolic. Someone could shoot an arrow.
Right. Somebody could just start winking and
Someone gets something in their eye, and before you know it, it's murder.
I feel like an approach that is more realistic for us, where we let Ulrich, smite people based on Moradin's general discompassion for living objects, and then you can eat some of them. And yeah, I think
I've made our decision.
Great.
I've made the decision. Ulrich, what does Moradin guide us to do? Do we travel together?
In the side, sleep what we can. Cowlick has the best idea, going through the door. And then through that door, I think would be the best way in. It avoids the armored folk. And if we draw the others out, I believe through the rubble, they'll have a difficult time moving. We take them in piecemeal as opposed to all at once. And I hope the sleep spell can take all three of them out. Then we'll be able to get in the door, see what's there, and make our next decision. Unfortunately, once we come in contact with the enemy, who knows what will happen.
Everybody's got a good plan till they get punched in the face.
That's why we wear helmets.
I'm for Ulrich's plan. Who's in?
Oh, you're in charge. This is a terrible plan, but I'll do what you say.
Moradin's plan.
Yeah, no, Moradin wants. This is the worst of all worlds.
It's a fine plan right from Moradin. Accept it.
Let's get surrounded and killed. Let's do it. My last near-death experience was not nearly close enough.
I once heard this story about elves. If you ask them a question, you'll get an answer both yes and no. What is your plan? Why don't we just do what Pirate does so I don't have to listen to his whining all the freaking time?
Oh, no, we don't have to. It's fine. I don't have to say anything.
I have this handy disguise kit, too. What if we just all disguise ourselves as goblins, hobgoblins, and bugbears? I've been practicing bugbear, and then we use that as part of our approach.
That's a good one, too. Remember, a bold foe is better than a cowardly friend. I say we go into the south again, disguised as goblins and bugbears.
Oh, my.
With more
That's an idea.
I too have a disguise kit.
Oh.
It can't
We've
hurt.
got plenty of cake makeup.
So what we do is we try to disguise ourselves as hobgoblins and goblins, and then we approach from the direction that Ulrich and Karlik like, and then Karlik sleeps them if we can get close enough, and then we go in through the door. Euphemia, can you open locks quietly?
I can.
That'll be I'm imagining that door is locked.
I like this plan. What if we even tried the old trick where anybody that cannot pass off as a hobgoblin, a goblin, or a bugbear has been captured and being brought into the castle trick?
We could do that too.
We used to do that all the time in the Red Brands to gain entrance into places we weren't supposed to be.
I think Pyric likes getting tied up anyways.
All right. So I vote for Gaulick's plan.
All right, let's do
All
it.
right. So it sounds like, let me just read back the plan as I understand it to make sure I got this here. So the plan is to enter through, I'm going to ping as we do this here. The plan is to enter through the south door here by approaching under, I guess you're going to use pass without trace again there.
Yeah, I'll use pass without trace. How was the brush pretty good on that side?
It's actually not bad. It's a little cleared near the stairway just from use.
About how far away is the tree line from those three hobgoblins?
Let me draw it for you here.
Those are hobgoblins, right?
Those are goblins actually there.
Well, goblins, even better for sleep.
Yeah. It was a weaker defended side there. So
except for the big unknown thing.
Yeah, but there's a
giant moving shape. I'm sure that's nothing. Down here, you can see that like the woods kind of end right where I'm drawing these little dots.
I mean, come on, we faced two cyclopses. What's a giant?
Right.
Oh no, Kellic winked. And
Kellic winked. So you're going to go into there under pass without trace. You've got 2 disguise kits, right? Which we think is enough to cover the entire party to look like goblins or hobgoblins.
Well, we don't have to do the entire party. Ulrich and I can be prisoners. They've seen captured dwarves before.
The old Star Wars trick. Okay.
That's where I was going, Russ. Yep.
That's right. Okay, I got it. So several people are disguised. Everyone else is prisoners.
Shadeen just looks like a giant kobold.
Question, is that door go down or does it just open to this big courtyard?
Well, we don't know. You can't see. We don't know. It's not a courtyard. There's no court. Well,
Yeah,
there's no.
Russ told us it's not a big courtyard.
It's all roofs. It's all covered.
Said something about it all being separated. I don't know how we know, but separated.
Because
rooms.
when you look through some of these broken walls, you can
there you go.
inside.
That's why. Seppi. We won't like. It's not like they're just going to run across the courtyard to us. We actually have walls between us.
There's rooms. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, dragons.
I mean, they can still be all over you. I'm not trying to say it's going to be easy, but so basically, there's this little stairway up, and then there's a door.
Not supposed to be.
And the plan is to sneak in there, pick the lock, assuming that's doable, and then get inside.
Right. If we sleep, the other option is if we can't pick this lock and we've slept these guys, there's an opening there for us too.
Right. And we got to be careful not to wake them. So Karlach knows what to do so they don't wake up. All right, Euphemia? Wink.
Well, that means shoot. So I don't know if you want to do wink.
No, never mind. Karlach has got it.
Them.
Keep them.
Yeah. I know that the symbol of the finger across the throat means charge and yell.
No, that means the plan is dead.
Means keep them quiet. That's this. This means keep them quiet.
Yeah, I think we've
That's
got to
what
work on
Ulrich
this.
thought it meant.
I think over on Discord this week, you guys should work on your sign language.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think we've got a plan. Perfect timing because we're just about at the end of our 2-hour mark here, so it's a perfect place to pause. Anything else you guys want to share as prep for next time before we basically start? I'm thinking next time you're starting en route via this plan.
Well, we haven't left yet, right?
No. So you can do some more planning via Discord and then be ready for next week.
Karlach, how long does it take you to give us one of them inspiring pep talks?
10 minutes.
We might want to do that before we leave.
I'm also wondering if he can give us one of those snacks that makes us feel really a spring in the step. What's the thing that gives us the temporary hit points?
That's the inspiring leader. That's his.
Oh, that's inspiring leader. Sorry.
Yeah, he doesn't have the cooking skill. He isn't.
I thought that was bardic inspiration that you were talking about.
No, I was talking
your
about
oatmeal. Your oatmeal inspires me, and then I deliver it to everybody.
Achievement unlocked. You've made it to the end of another D6 Generation episode, the podcast whose humor has universally been acclaimed as not too horrible. Please let us know what you thought of the show by emailing us at info@thed6generation.com. If for some inexplicable reason you actually enjoyed this show, you can help others find out about it by leaving positive reviews on iTunes. Thanks for listening and happy gaming.